another sip of coffee and we'll get going. So I am Tony Tesler, Tony Stamps. You are here to see my Berry Blessings class. So the way it's going to work, I just started this last month, like new year, new style stuff. The class itself, I'm going to present the class today and tomorrow. The second Monday and Tuesday of every month, I present the classes, demonstrate, give you measurements, all that stuff, show you how to make them. You can create on your own at home with your own materials, or you have the option, you can get the class packet if you want. It's optional, not required. So if you already have these materials, you're already one step closer. You can, good morning, Leslie. You can make them on your own. You can also substitute for any other stamp set or paper that you have. Hi, Darlene. So the way this one's going to go, this is Berry Blessings. This is a bundle from the Celebration items. This is a $100 purchase item, and I got a couple extras, but this class today, we're going to make 8 cards and envelopes. And it'll be, the cards are 4 designs, and we're going to make 2 each. So you'll get the project kits for the 8 cards. You're going to get a tube of the Shimmery Crystal Effects to use on your projects, and then, you'll have it to use for other stuff. You're going to get a quarter pack of the Red Rhinestone jewels, and you can use these year round. But they just went really well with all these berries. I liked them. Then you're going to get a yard each of these 3 different color ribbons that I have. They're not all available to order, so I have enough for everyone. But we've got Poppy Parade. This is like a 1/2-inch weave, I believe. Yep, 1/2-inch textured weave. We've got Just Jade, which is a current ribbon. Just Jade is, I don't believe it's one of the colors in the pack, but it goes so nicely. And then we've got a Blackberry Bliss satin. So you're going to get a yard each of those. So 3 yards of ribbon, quarter pack of rhinestones, tube of the Shimmery Effects, the card kits and envelopes. PDF tutorial will be available and shipping is included. Now the packet pricing, so optional packet. If you have this already, that's good. That would be option number B. But let's go over the first option A. If you make your $100 purchase and use this Hostess code, which this is going to be available on my Learn at Home on my blog, place your $100 order and select this Berry Blessings bundle as your free item. That's 157613. Then you'll get this card kit free, which is all this stuff here. I'm going to mail that to you free. But you have to use this Hostess code. And the $100 requirement is because it's a $100 item in the Celebration choices. So I can't get around that. If you already have yours, or you want to use other stamps and papers that you have, like if you want to use the other fruit set and some different papers, if you just want the packet only, that's $30. So you will need your own stamps and papers. I have a limited number. I actually have 6 of these. If you want the whole thing, the class packet and the Berry Blessings bundle, meaning the 12x12 paper and the stamp set, that is $60, and that does include the shipping. As I've placed my orders through January and February, I've used my Celebration items to load up on these kits in case people need them. And so that's why I had 4 when I printed this flyer, and then I just put another order in. I think I actually have 7, but I didn't want to lie about it, so I definitely have 6. If you want just the PDF tutorial, $15. So email me, tonystamps@yahoo.com, for, if you've decided you want to get in on one of these class packets. So let's talk about dates. RSVP date is next Wednesday. Hi, Tracy. Next Wednesday is the RSVP date. So that's when I have to know, you either have to place your order using the Hostess code so you can get your own set, or, let me know if you wanted one of the other options. So that's next Wednesday, the 17th. I order on the 18th. Actually, I should just write these down. Dates. 2/17 RSVP RSVP and money. 218 I order. Generally, they seem to be running a day or so behind normal, so I was thinking the 26th through March 1st, I received the order. This is just based on orders that I've placed in the last month or so. And then March 2nd, I mail out. I will have everything already cut and ready to go. I would just be waiting on the materials from that order. So that's kind of like the timeline. These videos are going to be available forever, and I'm going to get them uploaded to YouTube today, right after this session, and then tomorrow also for the second session. So you'll already have the videos available that you can go back and look. So that's that, and let me show you. This is what we're working with. So we're working with this 12 by 12, and I'm sorry, I gotta get my cord out of the way since I changed my stuff around. All right, I gotta loop it around something so it doesn't catch me. So we've got our 12 by 12 Berry Blessings paper that you are gonna be cutting up the designer paper yourselves. And I mean, look at these, I love these patterns. It's raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, all kinds of stuff. It's cute. And plaids. I love this. And I'll just flip through quickly. Blueberries, like I said. I love that. This whole strawberries. And the seeds. Now, some of these, you can just cut the fruits right out of them. Like it's a big enough print. It does coordinate with the... Oh, look, these ones fit with the punch. It coordinates with, there's a set in the January through June catalog that has the strawberry punch. And these leaves and the strawberries, you can fit in there. But you can also hand cut them, so I wouldn't worry about needing that punch. That's my plan anyway, is to hand cut these. I just ordered this little punch right here, this little flower. That's coming next week for me. Oh, and look at that red plaid. I love that. Very summery. Blueberries, just digging them. Okay, now we're back to doing repeats. But, so whole pack of 12 by 12. I love all those pieces. And then this is the stamp set that we're working with. So like I said, if you had any other fruit set, or if you just want to copy the card designs and use HiPeg and use your own materials, I will go through the flyer again at the end, just for people that didn't see it. So, but we're using Berry Blessings stamps and papers. So let's get to it. We're going to do, since we're doing 4 card designs, I'm doing 2 today and 2 tomorrow. All right, so let's start with a pretty easy one for warm up. Let me get my envelopes. So each packet, card kit will get 2 envelopes, and you're gonna make 2 of these. So I've already made the one, and I'm gonna go through and make the second one for you. So you have 2 of these. So this is, I like this design, just pretty simple we're using both sides of the same piece of paper. This is the blueberry paper. I love it. So if you wanted to switch and have yours like this, your card like that, that's totally up to you. I don't know that it would actually go well. Maybe. I'm going to keep with the original design. Hi, Marty. Thanks. So this is just pretty simple stamping, and we're going to pop this up. And then I don't know if you can pick up the shimmery. So I'm using that Shimmery Crystal Effects and just getting it on the blueberries so they're nice and shiny. And it's just a hint of shimmer. It's not like straight out glitter. So I'm going to put that there so y'all can still see what I'm doing. And let's put the card measurements, since I bothered to write them down this time. So we've got Pacific Point, that's your card base. Fold it in half. That's scored at 4 1/4. All right, let me just put this out of the way. Then we've got a piece of white, 4 by 5 1/4. This is for the inside. we've got another piece, 3/4 of an inch by 4. That's this little bit that we're gonna stamp on. All right, so put that there. Garden green, this is for our layer. That is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. And then our 2 designer series paper pieces. Now this is from the same piece of paper. So I actually cut it this way. I cut it 4 inches wide first, but so you need 2 pieces. 4 by 5 1/4. That's gonna layer right on our card base, and then 3 by 4. So I'll just leave this here for a sec, just as too for people watching later. They can. This is an A2 card. Yes, yep. This is a standard. A2 is the medium envelope card, right, Darlene? I believe so. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Yeah, actually, all the cards we're making today are gonna fit in the. Today and tomorrow are gonna fit in the medium envelopes. Yep. So no wonky sizes this time. All right. So that's our measurements, and let's get to this. So we're gonna tape our designer series paper on, and I am gonna just follow the same pattern that I already started. These come together quickly, but I figured you can also use this same design with different pieces of the designer paper packs, and you know, you would have to have your own cardstock. Hi, Linda. And then we're gonna tack this on to the garden green. There's so many shades of green here. I love it. And then this is gonna get popped up with dimensionals. So you're gonna need dimensionals. And then this will just be a little bit of stamping, and we'll have that, you know what, I just realized I need the flag punch. I'm gonna have to reach over and get that, the flag in. See, you can't really even tell, it kind of gets lost in there, but I'm gonna do it. Why not, right? At first it looked like a note card. Oh, okay. I do like note cards though. I like them because, you know, they're easy and quick, especially when they have the pre-cut ones. And I like that those were like really sturdy. All right, so I'm just eyeballing to get this in the middle. That does not look quite right. I know it's hard for you guys to see when I hold it up this way, but otherwise I can't see it myself without getting my head in the camera. All right, that looks better. I've noticed that when you're using patterns that have lines in them, like these diagonals, the plaid, or the plaids that just go up and down, it's really easy to, it stands out if you don't have it quite straight. Oh, nice, you're working on note cards today. I feel like I want to peel this up and give it another go, because that doesn't seem quite straight. And I messed up one the other day, and it's still bothering me. Like when it's crooked, it just, ugh. All right, I think that's it. Now I just gotta reach over for this. Oh, these flag label punches. I'm using this end, but you could also just cut it by hand. All right, so we need we're gonna stamp our little strip with "Wishing you the very best." I like these sayings too. Years ago we had a set called Fruity Phrases, and it had little punny sayings like this too. I just thought they were cute. All right, I'm using Night of Navy ink for this card. You could use Pacific Point if you wanted, whichever. You could even use a green. All right, let's try. Hopefully this is straight. Good. And I'll clean that later. And I think that's all I need the Night of Navy for, so I'm actually just gonna put it away and let that dry for a minute. Okay, now let's get in here with this punch. And like I said, if you don't have this punch, you just use your paper, your scissors, and snip it by hand. Okay. Good, good, good. Get this out of the way. Now this is just taped on here, but since I want it to hang over here a little bit, I'm going to put dimensionals right underneath there. At least one right on the end here. Oh, I can get two. Since it came off together in my fingers. And then I'm going to just run some tape. You could use glue. And we'll go put it right there. All right, now to finish this one, we're going to grab the Shimmery Crystal Effects. Yeah, Marty, it's a good one. It's pretty useful. I've used it a lot. So I just randomly added, like covered the whole berries. Not every single one, but most of them. You want some on, you know, like all the sides, like over here, over here. I feel like maybe I want that one too. Now this does take a little bit to dry, so, and I store it like this, so it's always down at the tip, and that's just that. Okay, so now I just have to set this off to the side to dry. This, you know, it'll take a couple hours, depending how thick you put it, but I usually just do leave it for a few hours. So that's our first card, and like I said, you're gonna make 2 of those. Oh, look at that. I forgot to put the white on the inside. Jeez. I should do that first. I usually try to. All right, now I got to try to get it in here without touching the wet bits. Okay. All right. I will leave it now. Now, our second card that we're doing, this one is a little bit more involved, but you're going to like it. So this is, I showed it last week, I think. This is called a double front step card because we've got, these are the steps, and it just sits up like that. And then I add a little piece of white on the inside. I really like that. Oh, thanks, Marty. So we need, and again, we've got 2 envelopes with this because you're gonna make 2 of these. Let me put this over here, and actually I'll set this here and bring in the paper. So for this one, and people cut different. If you do research, if you do Google for double front steps, not everybody makes them exactly the same, and that's fine. But this is what I ended up with. So our card base is 5.5 by 8.5, and I didn't do any scoring. I'll do the cutting and scoring for you, but I just wanted to go through it with you so you see how I'm doing it. That's why this one's plain. But 5.5 by 8.5. Then I've got a scrap of white that I will be stamping and like the cutting out the leaves. Then we've got just Jade, 3 3/8 by 4 1/8, and this fits right on this whole front area. And then you will cut your designer series paper. Oh wait, let's go back to white. This white is for the inside, 3 by 5 1/4. And then you're going to cut your designer series paper. You need 3 little pieces from the strawberry piece. 3 1/4 by 4, that's this one. And then I wanted the seedy pieces for the sides. So these are 3 1/8 by 7/8 wide. So they're kind of small. And then these will be punched and die cut for you, but I just put the measurements down here anyway. The poppy, this is 2.5 by 3.5. I use the Tasteful Labels dies for this one. And then white 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. This is the Lovely Label punch. So that's that. And I've already stamped and pre-cut some leaves just so I wouldn't be here messing around with that so much. So Let me tape a couple of these things together. Let me just tape this, get what I can out of the way. Tape my strawberry pieces. And when you cut your designer series paper, you do want to pay attention to the direction. Like, see how the strawberries are all like the caps are up that way? So you wouldn't necessarily want to cut it if they're going sideways. So you'll just want to pay attention to that. All right, now actually this is all I can do. I want to sketch out the cutting and scoring for you. And like I said, people do their measurements a little different. Of course, I had it written down, and where did I put it? Because I need that. Hold, please. It's got to be here somewhere. Yeah. I would have put it right in front of me. Well, this is ridiculous. Let me see, did I rip it out of my notebook? Oh, no, yep, see, that's why. I drew it in my notebook and then I left it in there. Okay, crisis averted. All right, so on our 5.5, this is our piece of Poppy Parade, 5.5 by 8.5. So I'm gonna just draw it here. And this is not to scale. This score mark here is at 4 1/4, and that's halfway. That's where we would expect it to be. And then we've got these 2 cut lines on the side, which are 1 inch in. And then we've got other score marks. So these are 1 inch wide. And our score marks here, here, and here. This is at 3 1/4, 6 1/2, and 7 1/2. So I'm gonna let you look at that for a minute. You're gonna need the kind of paper cutter that you can lift up and move around, and that has the cutting and scoring. Okay, so let me try to do this over here so we can still see the directions there. So to get these 1 inch marks, or added in 1 inch, this is 5.5 inches wide. So if I put this side over at 4 1/2, that means this is 1 inch, all right? So then I drag this down to 3 1/4, so we see this line. And I hope that's good, because again, I can't really, I gotta pop up for a minute here. Yep, okay, that's 3 1/4. So I wanna push it down so it's piercing the paper. And I'm gonna drag it down 3 1/4, I'm gonna drag it down to 7 1/2. All right, now I need to do the same thing over on this side. So all I do is just flip it over and do it again. So put this at 4 1/2 over here. And this is already at 7 1/2. So we'll just go up this time to 3 1/4. Okay, so we've got our cut marks. Now we need our scoring. So I'm gonna take my blade, I'm gonna switch them. So I just have the scoring blade. All right, so now I want this scored at 4 1/4. And I'm just scoring between the my cut lines. All right, and I haven't used this scoring thing in a long time. I really have to press that hard. Okay, good. Now we need score marks here. So 3 1/4, 6 1/2, 7 1/2. So I'm going in this way, 3 1/4, and I'm gonna score from the edge of the paper to this cut line. Okay, so that's just like that 1 inch. And then I'll come down here and do the same thing. Just scoring it until we get to that cut line. So here and here. Then we slide this down to 6.5, and we'll do the same thing. 6.5, and then 7.5. All right. It's not really that tricky. It's just practice. All right, let me get my blade back in. And you can tell my cutter is pretty old. But I have a ton of these blades, so I'm not gonna get rid of it. All right, so we've got our fold marks. This is gonna be the top of our card. Let me bring this back in. So this takes a little manipulating. So we want these to go down, all right? Down and up. Like that. This one fold in back like here, and then these two go down. And then we'll just press it, but you see how it comes together. All right, and then I'm just gonna put a bone folder, put it right across everything. Did I cut that down a little too low? Not the end of the world. All right, so I'm gonna do your cutting and scoring for you for this. So you're just gonna have to fiddle around with it and get the folding right, okay? So now let's just add our bits. So I've taped this up, so we're gonna glue this down. And you can use tape or glue. I use a combination of, sometimes I use tape, sometimes I use glue. Doesn't really matter. I think the glue is a little bit stronger. All right. And for some reason, I must have had something backwards or not exactly right, so mine's not lining up perfectly. But yours will, I promise. It's still gonna be fine. Okay. Now I'm gonna tape these little guys right here. So let me open this back up. So these strips right here, that's where these seed pieces are gonna go. And these do have a direction. I think they're supposed to look like the raindrops. I'm not really sure, like however strawberries go. And I'm just getting those in the middle of that strip. Okay, so we've got that, fold all that, and let's tape our piece on the inside. So this only goes up to these score marks. I guess you could, if you wanted your piece this way instead, you could do that. But I just chose to have it right along the bottom here. I thought that was plenty of room to write something in. Okay, now you're gonna take a piece of your ribbon. Like I said, you've got a yard each of these 3 ribbons. And I just wanted it to go across the bottom here. All right, and cut that at an angle. Put that away. Now I like to attach this with a sticky strip. So if you have any of this, if you don't have this, maybe tear and tape works just as well. I haven't tried that exactly myself with ribbon, but on principle it should work the same. And of course, I can't get that off. Glue would work too, but glue with ribbon is sometimes messy because the ribbon wants to absorb it. Like the glue will come through and then it just takes a lot longer to dry. All right, so tape is just quicker. and this is the super strong tape. So I'm just tacking this down right across. All right, and now we've got our pieces. So we're gonna use Poppy Parade ink. Let me put this one right here. For this one, we're using Poppy Parade. Oops, that's a butterfly from, yeah, I just got a new butterfly set the other day. That's random. So I'm using Poppy Parade, Granny Apple Green, and Just Jade. So see, there's no dies for this or punches, so I just hand cut these leaves, and I already did 2 of them, so I'm gonna stamp another one for you and hand cut it, and then we'll do this greeting on the punched out bit. You always have a way of making my day. Okay, like I said, so we've got scrap to stamp our leaves. Actually, let's go ahead and stamp the verse first. Doesn't really matter which we do first. All right, I'm gonna need these leaf stamps. And I'm doing a little stamping off. So see here, this is all Just Jade. So I stamped the solid image, stamped it off once, and then get that lighter shade, and then the outline go in full strength. Okay. So let me, and I do want to stamp some on the label punch as well. Is that gonna fit? Yep. Okay. And the greeting. It seems like even though these are clear, sometimes I have a hard time like getting them straight. I don't understand what my malfunction is. Okay. Stamp, stamp, stamp. I am gonna have to drag this a little closer to me because I am trying to get it nice and perfect. All right, let's hope for the best. I mean, I can always flip it over. Your piece will already be punched for you. Okay, I'll live with it. I have a feeling it's straight, but I want to put the leaves here anyway, so okay. That's gonna work. And the leaves, like I said, I'm gonna do this one in Granny Apple Green. So I want to stamp, and these are distinctive stamps too. So, you know how we get like detailed, it's one solid image, but it's got like shading in the image, and then it's got the overlay. So that's interesting. I do like that. It's just, sometimes if your ink pad is too juicy, it's not your friend. All right, so we're stamping off once, and I'm just getting a little bit like on this corner, but that's okay. I just want a little hint of it. Actually, let's go another one too. All right, and then we need to do one to cut out. So there's our outline. I mean, our solid image. Now I'll go back in with this full strength, and you might see the top of my hair because I do have to try to line that up. Okay, good enough. And then we'll come back in here. That was a little bit off. But with these two-step stamps, I don't worry about it being like super exact. A lot of it is like good enough. Okay, let's get that out of the way. And so you're going to want to stamp and hand cut 3 sets of leaves. 2 with the Granny Apple Green, or you could do 2 with the Just Jade. I mean, it's yours. You will do whatever you want. And if you're not even using this stamp set, you'll do whatever is best for whatever stamps you're using. And if you're using the berry set, the strawberry set from the occasions, I keep calling it that, the January through June catalog, that punch has the leaf punch too with the strawberry, so you may just want to punch some out. or you may use something entirely different. I think changing the paper and the stamps, I mean, even with the same design, like it just changes it up so much to, I like it. So many different options. Okay. So we've got that. And so our red label, this is glued down first. And then I will add the leaves. And then this, our greeting, is popped up. Now on these labels, it does have like a right side and wrong side. The right side, can you see this teeny tiny little border that's like embossed? So that I want to be on the top. The back side, it just doesn't have it. So it's not critical, but I like it. All right, now just put this kind of like in the middle and hanging over this ribbon a little bit. And I just gotta hold this for a minute. And then I will have another sip of coffee while I'm waiting. All right, that seems good. So what did I say? Leaves first, and these I just put a little glue on. And let's just put them here. And I want to keep in mind like this is going to go here. So I do want to get them, scooch them in a little bit more. Got glue on my finger. And if you didn't want to use glue, you could use glue dots. You could use tape. Whatever you want. Just get it tacked down there. And I am just using it on the very end because I want to slide them around. Actually, I want to go behind this one. All right, that's good. I just want to hold these for a minute. And then I'm going to pop up that greeting, and then we're going to use our red rhinestones. Okay. Lots of dimensionals because why not? No saggy bits. Get it right there in the middle. And even with the ribbon and this popped up and the rhinestones, I would not worry at all about sending this in the mail. Like, I don't think it's going to require extra. I would just put one, regular stamp and let it go. Okay, now let's add our red rhinestones, which I had pulled mine out that I already started using. Oh, here I go. So I just added 3. You could add, you have a bunch of them, so you can add however many you want. And I'm just gonna keep the same like design kind of in that area. And I put one on the label itself and then another one on this leaf. And then I finish it with more of the Shimmery Crystal Effects. Now this one I just did like the lines, like the veins of the leaves. But I'm going to go for more coverage this time. Just because why not? Just doing the leaves was, pretty cool too. But more shimmer is better. Makes me happy. I'm gonna go around this rhinestone. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna put some on these leaves that I stamped too. Nice. Okay. So these are the 2 cards that we did today. We'll have 2 different ones tomorrow. Let's keep I gotta keep the wet on the wet. So here's half of our cards. And let me bring this back in. So just if you caught this late, or I'll go through this again tomorrow too, when I do the other ones. But so class today and tomorrow, optional packet. includes a tube of the Shimmery Crystal Effects, a quarter pack of the Red Rhinestones, 3 yards of different color ribbons, Poppy Parade, Just Jade, and Blackberry Bliss. You're gonna get a yard each of those. Project kits for the 8 cards with envelopes and a PDF tutorial. Different ways to get the packets. So if you use the Hostess code and place your $100 order so that you can select your own Berry Blessings bundle as your freebie, I will mail you this class packet for free. If you already have the Blessings bundle, Berry Blessings bundle, or you just want to use a different stamp and paper, just the class packet only, $30. Now keep in mind, so the colors that I've cut though, you're going to get, you know, the Poppy Parade, the basic, the Pacific Point, like all these colors. So if you wanted to use different papers, you just want to make sure they match. Or maybe you don't, it's up to you. I have 6 of these, the class packet and the Berry Blessings bundle, meaning the 12 by 12 pack of paper and the stamp set. That's $60, that includes the shipping, and I only have 6 of those. I've been, you know, gathering them as I place my orders, just in case people want them. And then if you just want the PDF tutorial, which is really, I mean, I just put that on there, but you're watching the videos, so you already know what I'm doing, and I give you the class measurements and everything, or the paper measurements, but it's there. So RSVP next Wednesday, but tune in tomorrow for our next 2 cards. And I gave a sneak peek last week, so I'll show that same one. We're going to do the raspberries. And I don't know if you can tell, but the Red Rhinestones, I took a black Sharpie to them and it darkened them up some, so they're like purpley. I like that. So tomorrow, 2 other colors, 2 other cards. And if you make any of these on your own, like use the designs and use different stuff, like please post it to my Tony Stamping and Sharing group, because I'd love to see different variations, see what you're making. All right, so thanks again, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.